his tail, so he can be pretty fast. And he likes cat food, even though he's a herbivore.
We got cat food.
Have you? Likes wet cat food. I'm going to pass him round. So when you hold Speedy, please be careful, because if you drop him, obviously it's going to hurt him and break his shell. Speedy is 5 years old. How long will he live for? Does anybody know?
I know. Older than you. It's about older than a human. I know.
100,000
years.
The average turtle was 189.
Really? No, choice is about 100. Okay, and he's going to grow to about the size of a big dinner plate.
Wow!
So he's going to grow much, much bigger. Now they've got sharp claws, so when you pass them around, just be careful, because somebody got them stuck under their skin once. He doesn't mean to scratch you. Just hold him underneath by his shell like this, and then he can't scratch you. He loves to have his head stroked. He loves having his shell stroked. He doesn't have lots of teeth. He has like a beak to eat his food, and he just eats a herbivore.
He crushes
just
it.
eats salad. But he does eat wet cat food for some strange reason. He loves the smell of cat food and goes after it. Apparently in the wild, although they aren't called herbivores, they do sometimes eat bits of meat if they find it. He has to have salad with calcium on it. Why does he have calcium, Jess, do you think? Bryce?
It builds the bone on his
That's
shell.
right, builds the bone on his shell, so he does his food every day. And his favourite food is dandelions and yellow pansies. So that's Speedy. He's really, really tame, really friendly.
Hippie turtle.
How can they feel
Hippie turtle.
Hippie turtle.
How do they
Right, what I want you to do is sit back on the settee for this one so we can pass him along, and just pass him on one to the next person, okay? He's really, really friendly. He likes, tortoises need a lot of space. So, are you listening or not? He needs a lot of space. He has a big, big space back the size of your settee, and he has that to run in. And he also has logs to climb on, because tortoises, you wouldn't think it, but they climb. So he climbs over some logs, and he climbs up ramps, and he likes to dig as well. So it's very, very important that they have an interesting habitat.
Can he
Yes.
camouflage?
He isn't really camouflaged, doesn't need it in his habitat here, but he would be camouflaged in rocks and stinks, wouldn't he?
And what can he do to defend him?
Well, to defend himself, what does he do?
Claws.
Goes in his shell. There's a story about a very foolish tortoise who decided his shell was too heavy and took his shell off. You're welcome. Decided he took his shell off, and his, he took off his shell, and then he was exposed to the sun and the rain, and he got ill, and then an eagle came along and tried to eat him, and he had to hide under a rock. They need their shell to be protected, okay? What's your
Did he survive?
Is he alright? You can get them for pet shops, but you have to have a little note that says that they weren't brought in from the wild, that they were bred in captivity, because you're not allowed to go over and pick up a tortoise in Africa and bring it back. He's from North Africa, so he has it hot and sunny. So if you're going to get a tortoise, A, you've got to have somebody to look after him for the next 100 years. B, needs a really big place to live. And they need sunlight. Okay? They need a light that gives them heat, like sunlight, and they need a UV light, which gives them the rays from the sun to help them to grow. Otherwise, they get sick. And if they
trying to
don't
claw
have
me.
that, put him on your lap.
He's trying to claw me.
If they don't have the light, they get really poorly and they can't digest their food. He loves having his chin. That's his neck, and then he loves underneath as well, Bryce. He loves having his chin tickled.
He's clawing me.
Well, you've been told that to handle him.
He's just trying to walk. Put him on your knee. Put him on your lap, and then he'll have a little
He
walk.
can walk onto Bailey.
Yeah,
Now,
you've been-
tortoises have got very strong legs because that shell's quite heavy, and he pushes himself up
Take your
to
hands
walk,
off.
or he can just kind of be a bit lazy and
Walk
put himself
to
on the
him.
ground.
Ready.